Good morning. Today's topic is animal cell culture. See, just like plant cell culture, we started growing animal cells also in the culture medium. See, when you supply all the ingredients and the growth conditions, we can grow animal cells also in vitro in the laboratory. The growth rate of animal cell is relatively slow. It takes 18 to 24 hours to divide. This makes animal cell culture vulnerable to contamination, as a small number of bacteria would soon outgrow a large population of animal cells. The animal cell culture became a routine laboratory technique in 1950s after George Gill. He established the first human cell line, HeLa. Now we will discuss advantages and disadvantages of animal cell lines. Homogeneous genetic population, that means they have proper homogeneity. That means all the cells will have same karyotyping and same type of features, etc. Comparatively controlled physico-chemical environment. Inside the cell we have proper controlled environment. That's why they are best for production of vaccines and all. Easy to add genes or regulate protein levels, or we can grow them in adequate number for the chemical studies. They are best for pharmaceuticals. Another important thing is no ethical clearance required, and cost effective screening can be done by using some cost effective methods. Also there are some disadvantages, such as they are smaller in size and highly sensitive. The scale up is very challenging. When we grow them in the laboratory, in vitro, in vivo, they may have some genotype as well as phenotype changes. So this table tells you about advantages and disadvantages of animal cell culture. Okay, the first feature that we are going to discuss today is contact inhibition. This means, suppose I am growing animal cells in a vessel. They grow and spread over the surface of the container, and they stop their growth when they reaches the wall of the container. Another feature is they require anchorage dependent, in the sense they need some substratum on which they can fix themselves and grow. We need to give a substratum. Substratum means some special surface on which the animal cell can fix themselves, and then they can grow. We cannot grow them freely in the suspension cell culture. And another important property is they have monolayer growth. What does monolayer growth means? That means they grow in a single layer. Suppose I have kept the cells here, they will grow all the direction and form a single layer. Oncologists, they study the characteristics of animal cell cultures, and based on the study of their features, they come to a conclusion that whether their cells are cancerous or normal. Whatever the feature that we discuss, like anchorage dependence, contact inhibition, monolayer growth, all these are properties of normal cell culture. If we grow an animal cell in a container and studying their property, the process or the study is known as in vitro clonal assay. Next is type of cell culture. In the process of animal cell culturing, at first the cells are dissociated from the parental tissue. It can be done by mechanical ways or by using enzymes like trypsin. We'll separate them, and then grown in a culture vessel. Such cell lines are known as primary cell lines. That means we create a cell line from a parental tissue, and the first formed cell culture is known as primary cell line. Now the cells can be grown as adherent cells or suspension cell cultures. We will discuss how they will be called as suspension cell cultures later. Adherent cells are usually derived from the tissues or organs such as kidney, where they are not mobile and embedded on a connective tissue. They grow adhering to the cell culture vessel, whereas suspension cells do not attach to any surface. Okay, for example, if it is a blood cell, they do not show any adherence. So we can grow them in a suspension cell culture. The drawbacks of primary cell culture are they are time consuming and requires the use of live animals or fresh tissue. There can be considerable variation from the one preparation to another, particularly if prepared by different people. These difficulties, which normally occurs on a primary cell culture, can be overcome by secondary cell culture. We'll see then what is secondary cell culture. In the secondary cell culture, we take out one cell from the primary cell culture. Again, we'll do fission or any other mechanical method of separation. Then they will be grown in another medium. Now, secondary cell lines or tertiary cell lines can go for tertiary also. Let us stop here in the secondary cell line. Then these cells which are grown in secondary cell line are much adapted to the situation, because already they are taken from an in vitro medium. If the primary cell culture are self-cultured, they are known as secondary cell cultures or cell line. They are also known as cell line. Established cell cultures are also known as cell lines. The frequency of subculture or density of cells to be plated depends upon the characteristics of each cells. कितना हमें स्प्लिट करना है और कितना नए फ्रेश मीडियम में लेके जाना है, एवरीथिंग डिपेंड अपॉन द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ सेल्स. ओके, सब कल्चरिंग में फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल विल रिमूव द ग्रोथ मीडिया, वॉश द प्लेट, disassociate the adhered cells by using enzymatically or by mechanical methods, and they are transferred to a fresh medium. Rouse and John were first to introduce proteolytic enzyme like trypsin for the subculturing of adherent cells. Certain cells of the secondary cell culture can be spontaneously become altered and give rise to continuous cell lines which show immortality. The finite and infinite cell lines. Finite cell lines are those cell lines which have limited lifespan. They have contact inhibition. They are density limited and anchorage dependent. Means when they grow to a particular density, later on they won't grow. They are monolayer growth. Growth rate is comparatively slow. They have around 24 to 96 hours for getting doubled. Continuous cell lines. See, some of the cell lines, they get altered. Their genetic nature get altered and they may become cancerous. Cancerous in the sense they grow indefinitely. The properties of continuous cell lines, their growth is unlimited. No contact inhibition and no anchorage dependence. No density limitation. They can grow multi-layers. Growth rate is fast and their doubling time is somewhere around 12 to 24 hours. So these are properties of finite and infinite cell lines. You know continuous cell lines like CHO continuous cell lines, that is Chinese hamster ovary, and HeLa cells, they are also continuous cell lines because they are cancer cell lines. So that's all for today. Thank you.